Sa problem 1, dun sa current na sinosolve natin, number 1 is A, tapos number 2 is dog, no? 900,000. Tapos sa number 2, Bravo, Charlie. Bravo yung 3, tapos Bravo ulit yung number 4. Yan. And then sa problem 3 na tinapos naman natin, Alpha, and then another alpha, 1.6. Tapos number 3 is boy. Ayan. Okay? So, ito lang class yung importante dito sa part na to. And may mga bagay na hindi ko na nabanggit, pero ulitin ko na lang ngayon kasi sinama ko na naman sa discussion kanina sa discontinued operations, no? Okay? So, ito, no? On December 31, 2020, the entity decided to use rather than to sell, no? Not to sell. Para correct grammar tayo. Ang ginamit yata class na ano dyan, like I was saying pa earlier, tao lang naman tayo, hindi naman tayo nakikipag-conversation in the form of mga standards, no? Okay, so ang sabi kasi yata dyan, the criteria to be held for sale is no longer, ano yung ginamit na term? No longer present ba? Or no longer applicable? Something like that. Okay, so translation, the entity decided not to sell the asset. Okay, so ito class yung answer natin sa number 1 dyan, cost model, no, 4 million. And then ito yung fair value less cost to sell. So may impairment loss na 500,000. No? So ito yung entry, no, for the reclassification and the answer of 500. Okay? Now, it's very important to note yung binanggit ko kanina sa discontinued operations, no, na not depreciated ang mga held for sale assets. Kaya kahit na December 31, 2020 ito, no, yan. Okay, ito pa rin yung carrying amount niya. 3.5 million pa rin. Okay? And as always, no, pagka magre-remeasure ka, lower palagi. Lower. Okay? Kaya lang dito, may aspect ng higher. Kasi this is the time na magfa-factor in yung value in use. Okay? So lower of ano? Lower of the recoverable amount or the carrying amount if the asset was not classified as held for sale. Ayan. Ito yun. Nag-depreciate ka ng 2 taon. Okay? So obviously, anong mas mababa? Nilagay ko lang to dito, I'm not sure. Yung 2.7 ba, fair value less cost to sell or recoverable amount na mismo yung binigay na ano? Fair value less cost to sell. Okay, so wala ano, question mark ito. Pero kung kunwari, sinabi yung value in use mo, kunwari lang ha, 2.8. Ito yung gagamitin mo kasi mas mataas. Recoverable amount yung requirement. Do you follow? Okay, so remember ha, non-current assets held for sale are not depreciated. So after 1 year, ito pa rin yung carrying amount niya, 3.5. But because you do not intend to sell anymore, ibabalik mo as property, plant, and equipment. So pagdating sa remeasurement, lower yung ginagamit, ha? Lower yung ginagamit natin. Okay? So from 3.5, you remeasure to 2.7. Erase ko na to. This was not given in the problem. So answer natin is 800,000. May isa pa pala na requirement, but kayo nang bahala. Paki-divide na lang to ng 3. So 900, no? So 27 minus 900. Answer natin sa last 1.8. Okay? Tapos ito class yung problem 3. No? Requirement number 1 nito. Ito yung requirement number 2. Tapos ito yung requirement number 3. Okay, next page tayo class, page 3. Kamusta yung traffic papunta dito? Nababawasan naman ba? Okay. Anong topic natin ngayon? Operating segment. Okay. Makinig na lang class because this is again important but not also important. No? Kasi theory of accounts nga, ilang items lang? 20 items. No? Okay. Operating segment class, papasok ulit yung component of an entity. No? It has to be a component of an entity. Okay, that's number 1. Kaya lang may tatlo. No? There are 3 important requirements for this component of an entity to be an operating segment. Number 1, let me borrow a term from responsibility accounting. Ano ang ibig sabihin class ng profit center? Merong revenue, tapos meron ding expenses. You follow everyone class? Okay? So, di ba meron tayong revenue center, may cost center, tsaka merong profit center. So, una yun kailangan profit center para maging operating segment. Okay. Number 2 class, yung kanyang operations ay rine-review ng tinatawag na Chief Operating Decision Maker. Ayan. So, this is second. And then, pangatlo, nagpo-provide ng information. So, information is provided to the Chief Operating Decision Maker. Ayan. So, sobrang ikli lang class It is a component of an entity that is number 1, a profit center. Number 2, reviewed by the Chief Operating Decision Maker. And number 3, provides or gives information to the Chief Operating Decision Maker. Tignan na lang natin later kung nandun sa theory of accounts natin. So, I'll review it somewhere. Kung wala, we'll find a way para to elaborate more. Okay? Now, ang next na pinaka-importante class is to determine yung tinatawag natin ng mga reportable segments. Okay, again, reportable segments. Meron tayong technical term class dito sa 10% na test na to. Okay, yan yung tinatawag na quantitative thresholds. Okay, nandyan class yung revenue, nandyan yung profit, at saka nandyan yung asset. Lahat sila class at least ilang percent? 10%. But please remember, any. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, one only nitong tatlong to para maging reportable segment. Okay? However, class, number 2, andyan pa rin yung management decision. Na kahit na hindi ma-meet yung quantitative threshold, yung management pa rin ang magde-decide, ang meron pa rin final judgment if a segment should become reportable. Nasusundan? Yes or no? Okay. And may pangatlo, which we will cover, kasi obviously wala namang computation para dito, yung 75% na criteria or rule. Ayan. Pakitotal naman class yung column ng revenue, pakitotal naman yung column ng profit, pakitotal naman yung column ng assets dyan. And then, pakimultiply ng 10%. Yun yung pinakamadali. So, magkano class yung revenue dyan? 33. Profit, 6, assets ilan? 66 million. Tama? Okay lang, dahan-dahan. Among the 6 segments, sino kagad yung reportable, hindi mo na kailangan pang gamitin yung profit at saka yung asset test? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Echo. Tama ba ako, class? Yung at least 3.3 million. Okay, ulitin ko class. Yung unang tatlo at saka yung letter E. Okay, hindi mo na kailangan pang i-apply yung profit test at saka yung asset test. Reportable na sila from this point onwards. Okay? Magkano yung 10% class ng profit? How much do we need? 600,000. Magko-qualify ba si Delta at saka si Foxtrot? Si F, magko-qualify? Hindi, no? Kaya yung pag-asa na lang nila, kung maka at least 6.6 million sila, and paki-check naman 7.5 million si segment Delta or DOG. Ayan. Diba? Magkano yun? 7.5 million ba yung kay Delta? Okay. So at least how much? 6.6 million. Anong letter yun? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Anong letter? Letter C. Okay? So, ulitin ko class ha. For example, ayan yung best, okay, na scenario natin. Si segment DOG, nag-qualify lang sa asset. Reportable segment din. Isa lang ang kailangan. Okay? Now, puntahan natin class itong next 2 problems where may mga qualification tayo. Okay? Tingnan nyo yung next one. Anong problem number na to? Problem number 7 ba? Okay. Hindi ako sanay class na ganyan before kasi 1 handout per topic no? Okay. Pag profit test, syempre may mga segments na mas malaki yung kanilang expenses sa revenues. Kaya ang gagawin mo class, paghihiwalayin mo. Ayan. So segment 1, 2, tsaka 4. So 11 million to, no? 7, tapos 3, at saka 1 million. Okay, dito naman, segments 3 and 5, no? 4 million, at saka 500,000 ba to? Ayan, so 4.5. Okay? Now, more or less, narinig mo na itong term na to. Okay, 10% of whichever is greater in absolute amount, no? So, absolute amount, irrelevant whether it is a negative figure. Diba? Kaya kung mas malaki yung 4.5 million to whatever profit is given, okay, yun yung magiging basis mo ng 10%. Okay? Kaya obviously class, lahat ng segments na merong profit kagaya nito, at saka merong loss, okay, na 4 million kagaya niyan, okay, kasi 11 million times 10%. Okay, so at least 1.1. Kaya makikita mo class, napakaganda no, ng example nito. Kahit profit siya na 1 million, hindi siya reportable segment kasi hindi siya umabot ng 1.1 million pesos. And ito rin, on the same light or same understanding, kahit na loss ito, irrelevant. Okay? Kasi nga, at least how much lang? 1.1 million na also absolute amount. Okay? So answer natin sa number 2 ay letter C, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Skip muna ako class. Can you go to number 9? No? Number 9. And then, number 8 natin i-explain itong 75% na to. At saka yung major customer rule. Ha? Major customer. Anong letter ulit yun? 1, 2, 3 is letter? Okay, C. Baka hindi ako makapagpa-early dismissal. 8 o'clock na. Kakahiya. Parang pinataas ko yung expectation ninyo. Mahaba rin pala, maikli lang. Okay? Number 9 class, ano yung operations natin? In what business are we engaged in? Manufacturing ba yun, class? Yes or no? Okay. So meron ka dyan external, syempre yun yung mas malaki. Diba? Yun naman yung kinabubuhay mo, no? Yung pinagbabayad mo, no? 50 million ba yun? 40. Okay, 40 million. Tapos, syempre, pwedeng internal na lang o kaya naman inter-segment. Okay, sales. No? Again, this is another topic no sa responsibility accounting, di ba? Yung ang tawag doon, parang transfer pricing, di ba? Okay. 10 million ba yun or 12? How much was that? 12 million. Okay. Tapos, hindi ko na isasama dito, 2 million ba yung interest income? Oo. 2 million or what? 1 million. So, itong 1 million na to, na interest income, gains to. Diba? Kasi hindi naman banking institution yung segment na nag-earn ng 1 million. Diba? So yun nga, you have to distinguish between revenue and gains. No? We're all about, or we only need yung internal and external revenue. So exclude mo yung 1 million because that's a what again? A gain. Okay? So 52 million yung total revenue mo. Okay, coming from internal and external. So 10% nito yung hinihingi. So you have 5.2 million. Okay, and then pinaka-last, major customer disclosure. Ayan. Ang major customer, sa totoo lang, if ako lang tatanungin mo, hindi ko na i-define ito ng sobrang elaborate. Pero para clear, major customer is letter A, an external customer. And overly reliant tayo dito sa customer na to. Kasi source ng at least 10% of, again, external revenue. So you have to disclose yung revenue from this customer. Kasi like I said, I'm just going to repeat yung consequence of the company being overly dependent or reliant on this customer. Okay? So, pag meron tayong major customer, kailangan i-disclose yung amount of revenue and the segments that provide the revenue. Okay? So, magkano class yung consolidated revenue dyan? Yun yung external revenue. No? Consolidated revenue yung ginamit na term. Was that 50 million? Ginamit ba consolidated revenue or external revenue lang yung ginamit? Na description. External lang. Ano sabi? Balikan ko para ano. Ano sabi, class? Revenue excluding inter-segment sales. Lagay nyo rin, class, pag sinabing consolidated, external lang. Kasi yung consolidated, subject na sa working paper, eliminating entries yun. Okay? So just in case, consolidated is the same with external. So 50 million times 10% equals, anong number yon? Number 1, letter A. Okay? And then, yung 50 million plus, i-multiply mo rin sa 75%. Ayan. Magkano to? 37.5. Ano ngayon yung significance niyan? Okay? Makinig lang na mabuti, class. Yung mga reportable segments na na-identify mo, kailangan 75% ng external revenue, sila yung nagpo-produce. Okay? Kasi pagka kulang sa 75%, magdadagdag ka ng reportable segments kahit na hindi ma-meet yung quantitative threshold. Kasi ang lumalabas, kulang yung external revenue na source ng net income mo na pinoproduce ng mga reportable segments. Kaya kulang yung rine-report mo ng mga segments. Okay? So ulitin ko class ha, kasi it's almost in the negative. Okay? If the revenues produced, external revenue produced by the reportable segments is not equal to 75%, additional segments must be considered to be reportable. Okay? Kaya ang minimum external revenue ng reportable segments is 37.5 million. Pag hindi nila na-meet to, magdadagdag tayo ng reportable segment kahit na hindi ma-meet yung alin, quantitative threshold. So like I told you, ulitin ko para maging reportable segment, kailangan ma-meet yung ano lang, isa sa mga quantitative thresholds. O kaya naman, management decision. O kaya naman, kahit hindi pa rin ma-meet ito, yung mga na-identify mo na reportable segment, hindi naabot yung alin, 75% test. Masusundan class. Yes or no? Okay. Sige. Last part na, and then magka-cash or cash equivalent na tayo. Madali lang naman i-skip yung theory. Okay. Paki-check naman class yung loss from typhoon saka loss on inventory write-down. Ayan. When we say class for interim reporting, we're preparing financial statements for less than 1 year. Ang pinaka-common na interim period is quarterly. The most common interim period is quarterly. Okay? You never, ever allocate gains and losses for interim reporting. So for example there, the loss from typhoon na 800,000 and loss on inventory write-down shall be recognized in full in the first quarter. Okay? Next item class, na pupuntahan ko, advertising, Nakikita mo yung advertising. Sinabi ba ito yung annual advertising expense or sinabi lang advertising? Okay. So lagay nyo class, pagka ganyan na sobrang vague, yan yung amount incurred for the quarter or for the interim period. Okay? And lastly, skip tayo ulit ng dalawa. Anong klaseng repairs yung naka-itemize dyan? Major ba or ordinary? Okay. Pag major repair, it will benefit the entire year. Pag ordinary repair, yung current interim period lang. So, paki-check in full itong 150 na to. Okay? So, again, class, pagka simple at walang inelaborate, na kahit anong description for a particular expense, ito yung amount incurred for the interim period. Okay? And then, pagdating sa repairs, pag major, it will benefit the full year. Pagka ordinary, yung single interim period lang. Okay? How about yung mga in-skip natin na items? Ano to? Insurance for what? Calendar year. So will it benefit the full year? Yes. So paki-divide ng 4. Okay? Next item, property taxes. Ganun din. Okay? Annual property tax yan. Divide mo ng 4. Okay? Wala namang duda sa depreciation. Tama ba ako? Okay. Divide by 4. And last item, baka questionable. Kasi year-end bonus, syempre, one time lang binibigay eh. And I hope meron na kayo. Kung di man, baka ubus na. Binayad na sa tuition sa CIPAR. Magkano ang tuition fee class ng CIPAR? 15,000 na ba? How much na? 15? 1.5? Okay. Wala talaga. May nagpapaloko, so may biro lang. I'm sure may discount naman, plus. No? But make this worth it, class. If, kasi si Sir Raymond yata, sobrang bata pa ni Sir Raymond. I think he's only 29, no? Kung gano'n siya no? Pero ako, ang tagal ko na kasi dito sa review, no? 15 years na ako. And I'm going to be 40 years old soon. Okay? I just am very depressed. No? People walk in here and then they expect to pass. No? Obviously, it doesn't happen like that. No? You walk in here and then you assess yourself. No? And then, for some people, nagpakahirap ng 4-5 taon kaya pumapasa kagad. For some people, pasangawa, no? Nakachamba. No? Kulang talaga sa preparation, etc. No? So, never expect that when you review, you're going to pass. Okay? So, pagdating ng mga bandang April, ganun, assess mo lang. Okay? So, yan, review ulit, no? Review ulit. Okay? So, hanggang kahit mga 10 beses, no? Mag-review. No? Okay? Kasi, ang pinaka hurtful na word, no, na dapat hindi na sinama sa English language ay yung expectation. No? Pag may expectation ka, malulungkot ka lang. No? Okay. Kaya huwag kang mag-expect agad. Ay, nakapag-review na ako 1 beses and ready na ako. No? So, iba-iba. No? Everybody has a different path. Okay? So, yun lang. Maiiyak na ako. Dito. Okay. Class, year-end bonuses are received at year-end, but this is worked for by the employees for the entire year. No? Prorated ito, no? Prorated ito on a monthly basis. So, paki-divide din ng 4 yung year-end bonuses. What are we going to get, class? Pagka dinivide mo yung 200,000, yung 500, yung 600, tsaka 1.2. Ang makakompute ba natin, all in all, letter A, 1975. Okay? Tapos, yung 11, paulit-ulit na kasi, ito na naman yung maling computation na i-correct natin. Okay, so first item, class, no? Expropriation gain. So, rule nga natin, kung yung net income na 950, kasama dito yung gain, okay? Pero yung gain na yon ay na-realize ng May 19, no? Second quarter yon. Kailangan mo tanggalin yung na-allocate na gain. No? So, allocated, no? Lagay ko na lang ulit, second quarter na gain, that's 600 divided by 3. So, i-minus natin yung 200,000. Never ina-allocate yung gain. Okay? Tapos, yung next item naman, no? Ito yung discussion natin kanina. It is a change in accounting policy. No? So yung 150 was treated as a loss. So we have to add it back. Okay? And yung last item, walang problema because it is an expense that benefits all months during the year, but it was paid on Feb 1, yung property tax. No? So ito, class, yung adjusted. Third quarter net income. Ayan. Okay? Anong answer natin? Wala akong answer dito sa papel ko. 900,000 ba? Okay. Delta. Okay? And then, panghuli, class, isipin nyo na lang, parang change in accounting estimate ito. Hindi mo na pwedeng baguhin yung tax expense na na-recognize mo ng previous na interim periods. No? So, paki-multiply naman, class, yung 5 million sa 30%. 5 million times 30%. So, instead na formal solution pa, okay, so yung quarter, yung income, tapos yung rate, and therefore yung tax expense. And so 1, 2, 3, 5 million times 30% is 1.5. 8 million times 30% equals 2.4. And 7 million. Ano yung tax rate natin ngayon? Ha? 20 ano? 5%. Diba? So ito yung enacted tax rate for the third quarter. Okay? Now, obviously, itong dalawan to sobra. Kasi anong basis niya? 30%. So whenever you encounter something like this, na hindi mo na pwedeng i-adjust tong dalawan to, ang kailangan mong gawin, computein mo yung cumulative or yung total. So therefore, ito, 20 million, ito yung i-multiply mo ng 25%. So you're going to get 5 million, tama ba? Okay. Hindi mo na gagamitin ito ng multiplier. So i-work back mo na lang. Yung cumulative minus yung amount recognized. Okay? So answer natin class, 1.1 million. Ayan. So remember that this is similar to a change in accounting estimate na prospectively. Okay? Pag minultiply mo yung 7 million by 25%, so sobra yan. Okay? Kasi ang tax due mo for 3 months is how much lang? 5 million. Pero magkano na yung record mo na expenses for the first 2 quarters? Okay, ito. 3.9. Hindi mo pwedeng baguhin to. Kasi nga, changes in accounting estimates are treated currently and prospectively. So always get the total. Ito, yung total. And i-work back mo. Naka-incorporate na dito yung sobra dito. Kasi magkano ba ang 7 million times 25%? Now, 1,750. Okay. Sobra yon. Kasi ang taxes due mo for 3 quarters, magkano lang? 5 million. Hindi mo naman pwede ulit bawasan itong dalawan to. Nasusundaan? Okay. Next handout, theory of accounts.